You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. Be sure to smash that like button. LSU picked up a commit from three-star tight end Jackson McGohan out of the for the 2023 class. He's a three-star out of the state of Ohio. He apparently has had a long-time relationship with Mike Denbrock. McGohan was committed to Luke Fickell when Fickell left to take the Wisconsin job. He decommitted from Cincinnati, and Mike Denbrock, who had the relationship there from his time at Cincinnati where he had been previously recruiting him, Denbrock went, it was a good shot, if you want to pull that up, Paulie, of Denbrock and McGohan from a visit that Denbrock made with him up there in the Cincinnati area there in Ohio. It's actually in Miamisburg. I've never even heard of Miamisburg, but Miamisburg, Ohio is the name of the town that he's from. So a three-star, 6'4", 225. He's the 24th commit for LSU's class. He is, again, Ohio-based. He's ranked number 540 overall in the country and the 26th best tight end in the 247 composite is Jackson McGohan. A couple of things on this for McGohan in particular, but then also with this class. A tight end for LSU is an absolute must, both high school players and the portal. Keep in mind, LSU has one scholarship tight end on the roster presently. One. Your only scholarship tight end is Mason Taylor. Of course, Cole Taylor is has entered the transfer portal. The only other two tight ends you had were Nick Storrs, who his eligibility is up, and then, of course, the former walk-on quarterback out of St. Paul's. Why am I blanking? Help me. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about.
O'Dowd?
Huh? No. The former he played tight end, 82.
Oh, Mashburn, Jack Mashburn.
Jack Mashburn. Thank you.
Got me too.
So that was it. Those are your only tight ends on the roster. So look, the fact that we're sitting here trying to struggle to remember a former walk-on's name at tight end kind of illustrates the problem. So, so you have Mason Taylor coming back. You've already got Mac Markway, who's a big four-star tight end for the class of 2023 committed. And now Jackson McGohan means that's the second incoming freshman tight end that you'll have for this class. Again, three-star, the 16th best player in Ohio, 6'4", 235. He's the 25th best tight end in the country. In the 247 composite, he's number 540 overall in the country. Had been committed to Cincinnati, decommitted. Now he's an LSU commit. So those are your two, and you know they're going to add a veteran via the portal. They've already put out one tight end offer via the portal. And look, Trey Knox, the tight end from Arkansas, went into the portal yesterday. There's going to be a transfer tight end that's part of this LSU class. There's got to be. You've got to have another veteran player at that position on this team for next year. So they're going to add a tight end somewhere. Now, one of the questions I know that I've been asked a bunch is, man, well, if you add another tight end, if you had a veteran tight end, would that maybe scare off a guy like Mason Taylor? No, and here's why. Brian Kelly even said before the season, they're going to run two tight end sets. And a lot of us in the media asked the question, like, how are you going to run two tight end sets when you don't have tight ends? And, I mean, Cole Taylor was the only returning tight end. And remember, Mason Taylor was coming in as a three-star, kind of undersized. He wasn't a guy that we were all thinking was going to have a big impact this year. But he put on 20 pounds, got bigger, and Brian Kelly raved about him in fall camp. And clearly he made an impact as the season went along. But the other thing I'll tell you is if you go back and look at Brian Kelly's teams at Notre Dame, almost every year he featured two tight ends. The COVID year, 2020, he had Michael Mayer, who had 42 catches, and Tommy Tremble had 19. I mean, they feature two tight ends. In 2019, Cole Kmet had 43 catches, and Tremble had 16. In 2018, Alizé Mack had 36 catches, Cole Kmet had 15. In 2017, they had 4 different tight ends that all caught passes that year. My point is, like, Brian Kelly wants to use multiple tight ends. You're going to have your guy who's the guy, and I think we're all assuming that's going to be Mason Taylor next year, unless if you bring in, one of these transfers who may take that role and allow Taylor more of an opportunity to continue to grow. But Brian Kelly will implement two tight end sets. They'll utilize multiple tight ends in the passing game, so that should never be a concern. With McGohan specifically, I know there's always this tendency, and it's just the nature of how we all think right now in the star rating culture. You're going to look at that and you're going to go, man, you're going to get really excited about the 5-star guys or the high 4-star guys. You're going to get excited about Lance Hurd and Shelton Sampson. You're not going to get excited about the 3-star tight end from Ohio who had been committed to Cincinnati, and I understand that. But I want to remind you, Mason Taylor was a 3-star. Mason Taylor was a 3-star whose national rank was 492, and he was the 24th best tight end in the country in the composite. Jackson McGohan is a 3-star whose national ranking is 540, and he's the number 26 ranked tight end in the composite. They're basically the same guy a year apart. The question you have to ask yourself is, do you trust this staff and their ability to evaluate talent at that position in particular, because that's what we're talking about with tight end. Do you trust Brian Kelly, Mike Denbrock, to know what they're looking for in a tight end, to evaluate the talent at that position, bring him in and develop him? I do. We've talked about it literally since the day Brian Kelly was hired. The two positions that he has churned out more pros into the NFL draft have been tight end and offensive line. So I don't really question his evaluation of that position. So if they like this guy and he fits with what they want to do, cool, come on down, kid. So Tigers have added another tight end for the class of 2023. So you'll have Mason Taylor, you'll have Mac Markway, the big 4-star out of the St. Louis area coming in, and now Jackson McGohan, the 3-star tight end coming in as well. But you better believe they're still going to go add a transfer. They're going to add a veteran player at that position because they're just going to have to for next season. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.